Okay, folks, for our first class today, we have my good friend, the Prepared Irishman, up, and he's going to teach basic tarp shelters. So let's give him a round of applause and a thank you for kicking off the weekend, Jim.
Thank you very much. Right off the bat, who has done this and who hasn't?
I haven't.
You haven't? You haven't?
I have not.
I need two volunteers. You're volunteers and you're volunteers. Come on up. I volunteered you. Come on up. It's actually not volunteering.
He's
Drafting you. All you have to do is pay attention.
Okay.
And that's what I do. Do me a favor. Go down to that tree over there. Go around. So, today we're going to do some tarp shelters. I think it's a skill that everybody should learn. Stop right there. And the reason why I say that is because what I found from trying to figure out what's the best shelter for me, a little bit more. Keep on coming, keep on coming. Good, stop. That's probably way too long. Alright, so what I found is when I started, trying to figure out the ultimate shelter, tents, this, that, and the other thing, we usually go backpacking, and like the stuff that we have here for car camping is great, but if you have to put that on your back, it's not going to fly. So whenever there's an outing, I like my tarp because it's lightweight, it packs down super small, and the key word is flexibility. I don't use this tarp a lot, the other tarp I'm using now for my shelter, but this is my whole shelter system. And it's heavy because I have heavy duty stakes on it. I'll get to that in a second. Also too, on a day like today, you see how everybody's flocking to the shelters, get to the pop-ups and stuff. So this is another reason to have it. You have something like this, you're king. Everybody gathers around like underneath the tree or this or whatever. So today I'm going to show you how to put up a shelter. 3 shelters: lean-to, plow point, and A-frame. We're going to show you how to put up the ridge line. So tools you're going to need a tarp, stakes, cordage. You could use a bug net if you want, trekking poles, optional. I would also have a knife and a saw if I have to use sticks and improvise. As you see, this is paracord. This is what I use. You can also use Zing-It, Amsteel, bank line. Paracord is what I use. It's good enough. When it gets wet, you lose some of the rigidity, if I said that right. And you always want to burn the ends because they will always come undone. So once I set up this ridge line, it's going to be, that's it. I'm going to put every possible knot that I can on it, so when I have to take it apart, I'm not doing every single knot like I'm doing now. I'm doing it now to show you what, how to do it. All the knots that we use are, there's other knots you can use that are probably easier, but the knots that you use, which is the way I learned, so therefore you guys are going to learn it, I had to go through it, but they come out really easy. So if you ever have to use this other than the ridge line, which I don't, but if you do, you don't have to cut it. So that's one. So the first knot we're going to do is a bowl in, bowl line. Basically, this is the end of my cordage. This is the working part. I'm just going to make a little circle like so. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to go up through the hole. And I'm going to show you guys this later. Underneath it and back through and pinch on the side. And when you put it together, it kind of looks like a pretzel. And you can adjust it to whatever you want. That's the only line that's going to stay on this with my pressing knots. And the catch is here is getting it to stick. All right. And when you see the bowline, classic for fine is thing wants to stick up. So that's one end. The other thing I want to use, and I'm going to use Zing It line for this. Okay, that's what I lost. They also use this for ridge lines. If you guys look at this, it's probably one of the lighter options. Super lightweight. Pretty strong. Zing It.
It's not bank.
No. I have bank one too, I'll show you that. Zing It, Zing It. Super lightweight. What my friend, the bushcrafter, is talking about is bank line. Usually you want number 36. You know I have it. This is really crappy bank line. I got it on Amazon, but it is bank line. So that's my expendable cordage. All right.
So what's the tensile strength on that one?
I guess you guys quiz me on this. I think it's like around 300 and change.
Okay.
AM steel is about 1200. Paracord I believe 550, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And bank line's around 300 and change too. It's more than enough to hold whatever you got to hold. The other thing I would recommend too is when you pick up your line, depending on what you're going to use it for, if you're going to use it for camping like we're doing today, highly visible, highly reflective, and people will always walk into it anyway. That's a golden rule. If you're kind of bugging out, obviously you don't want something like this. You probably want to go with a, a camo or whatever it is that you think's low profile. Okay, so what did I put that thing on? So the next knot I'm going to do, I'm going to start making my pressix. So basically, like I said, you wouldn't be doing this from scratch. So for the length, I'm going to take to the tip of my fingers, come out to the crook of my elbow. It's not exact science, you can make them a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, but that's usually about right. Take your knife out, cut it. Make sure you put your knife away because if you drop it and you put it down, you know, so somebody's going to walk on it, catch it the wrong way. Thank you. Thank you for the demonstration. It happens. When you're cutting, you're going to do knife safety?
No, go ahead.
I'm just going to touch on one thing. Just make sure when you're cutting, like you see people carving a lot, they go like, you know, anybody around is going to get cut. So be mindful of where you're at. Always put the knife in, and when you really cut, you're supposed to cut in, but always keep that knife sheathed. All right. So on this particular knot, we're going to make a loop. Come over here. You know what? I'll do it on the other one. I'll do it all over again. Basically, I'm just going to make a little simple knot like so. I'll do it on the bigger one so people can see it. Sorry. Then I'm going to use that other side. I'm going to adjust it a little bit. I'm going to go under, over both, and then in through a small hole. And that's going to be part of this line. How many do I need? It depends on what I'm going to try to do. I would say 3 is probably adequate for most. So I'm going to put it back again, crook of my elbow. You can also burn the ends. I'm being a little hasty here to save some time. It's nice to burn, you know, the edges with your lighter. Once again, just going to make 3 of these real quick. Are my volunteers watching this? I hope so. Because he knows what's coming. That's 2. And just give a little tug just to make sure they're good. And 3. Like I said, normally I wouldn't do this, to be already set up. Is my other volunteer hiding? Yeah, there she is. See ya. Once again, sorry, getting distracted. Tip, you don't have to learn this one. What we're doing. Coming here, cutting it, burn the edges, make a circle with 2 rabbit ears. I'm going to come, just make a regular knot. When I make that regular knot, I'm just going to leave a little extra. No, that's a lot extra. Then I'm going to come to the other side, adjust it, go under, over both, and then back into the small hole tie. Just a little gap. I'm going to pull them tight. That's 3. So, all right. tarps. We're going to put up this ridge line in a second. Tarps, I'm skipping all over the place. Two types of tarps, shapes that you can use, square, rectangular. People ask me which one I should get. I kind of recommend the square because you can do most designs with the square. Rectangular is good for certain things, not so much for other. That's my preference, but whatever it is. Tie-outs, grommets. You know the difference between tie-outs and grommets? Anybody? Nobody?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. This is a really cheap harbor great thing. It has the circles along the perimeter. I can't put anything in the middle, obviously, because it's going to leak. Tie-outs usually fall out unless you get, the grommets usually fall out unless you get a really good tarp, and even then they will go. The tie-outs, which I'll show you in a second, if you get a good one, they're all over the place, so it gives you more options as far as designs. Color, I know people like camouflage and all that stuff, but I have a camouflage top over there. Usually people see it unless it matches the thing perfectly. So if that's your thing for bugging out, go, get like a olive green or brown and just put branches and break it up a little bit. That probably works best. If you're camping, and highly visible ones are usually good, so people see it, so you're not walking into it. Stakes. You can make stakes, or you can get lightweight stakes or heavy duty stakes. Which ones don't make stakes? Making stakes takes time. You don't want to do that if you're bugging out, especially. That's one more thing you have to do. Bring the stakes. Weight-wise, the heavy duty stakes, which I have, I'll show you in a second. They're great because I don't have to worry about those things bending. Like out here, I didn't think I was going to have a problem, but I was next to the trees. And if you look all around, there's roots and stuff. The lightweight stakes, they do save you a considerable amount of weight, but chances are, I think a couple of people already know you bend them. So that's something to consider in the moon. All right. So I think I'm on track here. I got my bowline knot here. I'm going to do my first thing to hang this. I'm going to hang this at a height. Now people say, well, which height do you want to hang it at? Depends on what you're trying to do. I don't use this top that often, so I'm going to probably do a lean-to / A-frame first. I'll probably set it about this high. I'll adjust it. So what I want to do is, where's my volunteer? Lift the back of that. I'm being lazy now. I got my Vanna White here. Okay, not too high. About right there. So, okay, a little bit lower. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to grab a bite of the cord and put it through here like this. This is called Mullen Spike Hitch Quick Release, I believe. I could be wrong on that. So basically what you're going to do is, you can use a stake, you can use a stick. You're just going to throw it in here and just tighten it up. So that bowline knot that we did, that's going into this. You can set it at any height. And the beautiful thing about this right here is, when I'm done, Dana? Sorry. Anybody who helps me is Dana. Here you go. Alright. So once again, I'm going to just put it back. Like I said, I'm going to have to adjust the height on this. This top I don't really use too much, so I love the top. It looks cool, but I don't get a chance to use it. So the height we don't know about, so we're going to come over here to this side. Now you could be on uneven ground or whatever. You can also do this not just for hammocks if you're a hammock guy. It should look familiar. But you're going to set it, I set it about like just below my chest. I'm going to come around. This is a knot you're going to have to learn to do. Like that. So basically, if I'm on this side, using this tree, I use this hand. If I'm on that side, did it in reverse, I use this hand. I want to be about approximately this far away when I do this. So when I grab this, I'm going to loosen this up a little bit. I'm going to grab like this. I'm going to grab the thing, keep it loose a little bit. I'm going to twist it. You got a circle. Everybody see that? See the circle?
Yeah.
I'm going to grab this line right here with my two other fingers and pull it through. That's a trucker's hitch. And the beautiful thing about this is, once again, this knot comes right out. So you'll see in a second why I'm going this far out. You can adjust it a little bit. Grab with your palm out. It looks, I don't know, what would you call that, Trent?
Palm out,
Palm out with a,
90 degrees,
yeah,
45.
gonna have to work on that. Twist, put it on top of the line, grab the line, pull it through towards the tree. So now this is gonna act like a fulcrum. So I'm just gonna grab my line here. Like I said, I'm gonna have to adjust this to get the right heights. And I might even have to start it out here. Just depends. We're gonna see how this works. The length of the cord, I didn't go over that. How long should the cord be? Well, it's preference. I like them long, but what happens is when you put them down on the ground like this, it grabs everything. We use twigs, so if you get them too long, I don't know, 25, 40 feet. You know, think about all the trees around here and what length you would want. The more you do it, you get more experience, you'll make different ones. Right now, this is acting as a fulcrum. This is a trucker hitch, by the way. Sorry if I didn't say that. I'm going to pull it tight, as tight as I can. So, now there's little tricks so I don't have to hold this, but for today, I want to keep it simple. You pinch down. I'm just going to lay this over like this, and I'm going to grab underneath. I'm going to pull back. And right there, that should hold. My excess cordage, you can wrap it up. But that's the original line. If you come here, I can make this a little tighter. If you guys want, you can feel how rigid it is.
Down, 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 down,
The
down,
guitar
down,
string,
down.
exactly. So if I want to take this out, 1, 2, like I said, lengths can vary. Come on, there we go. Made me look bad. And that's out. So it goes up pretty quick. You know that side comes off quick. So you can take this down. And remember, I did everything from scratch. All those knots that you see on the ground, they're going to be up here ready to go. You can use toggles, which I'll show you in a minute, or carabiners or whatever. That's your preference. I'm going to do it one more time. I'll readjust this. So about arm length away, grab, I twist. You got that? Now I know you guys won't remember that. I wouldn't expect you to. There's another way which I'm going to show you. It's a tool, but you should learn this first. Pull it tight. Tighter the better. The only thing is this is going to slip. There's a trick where you go back under this again and it'll hold, and I won't have to do all this stuff. But keeping it simple, that's the hardest part, just holding it there. Make a little bite. I'm going to grab the line underneath, pull it through, and then the excess cord, you can put a toggle, you don't need to. I'll show you what a toggle is in a second. Any piece of wood like this, if you're afraid of slipping, and tighten it up. Or when you wrap your cord up, because you don't want to sling around, I use a figure 8 method. This way it doesn't get tangled. You wrap it up, hold it nice and neat, and then you can pull in here and pull. But I don't care about that for now. So let me show you something real easy. I know everybody's going to get this if they want to do this. If I can find it. I saw this at Home Depot, Amazon. Where's Dan?
REI and EMS.
Bigger 9?
Yes.
Bigger 9. Right. So this replaces that. It's something that you might want to invest in if you don't want to learn all these knots. But I really suggest you learning it. That's why I have set up over there. They're easier. The only thing is they come in black and silver, and chances are if you're like me, you'll chop it and you'll never freaking find it again. So what I do, I want to take the little, I guess, whale tail, whatever you want to call it, pointing in towards the tree. I'm going to take a bite. My quarters, I still want to stay a good distance away from this. Put it through, like so. Grab, grab. pull it tight. This will make your life a lot easier. Or do me a favor, can you just look that up for a second? Okay. So this time we're going to go underneath this side. That's too tight. Like so. Gonna put it through here. Pull it tight. Gonna pull it tight. This will make it easier to do. So what we're doing here is just creating the fulcrum. And there's little teeth in here if you guys want to see right there. So the second I go like this, I'm done. So that's the easy way of doing it with that. I think, how much they could run, Dan? Like $9, $10? Roughly. Bigger 10-ish, maybe 15. Like I said. So that's a nice tool to have if you want to do this. Makes life easier, but I highly recommend learn the knot, learn it well, and then later on, because God forbid if you lose that, now you don't know how to do it. And the whole purpose is, once again, is you don't want to cut cord if you don't have to. God forbid if there's an emergency you need to use this for whatever reason. That's why I like going a little bit long too. If you go a little bit long, chances are you can find a shorter tree and put it in. Something else on it. Guys, all over the place. Okay. So we made these knots before, right? So I know some people put them on the side. I don't really care. I put them on top. I know you're supposed to put them on the side. But I'm going to go around. You guys are watching right here. So I'm going once, twice, 3 times. And when on the 3rd time, I'm just going to pretty it up a little bit. So when I put these up, I'm going to do it 2 more times. Okay, here we go. I'll do it with you. Except to make it easy. Once, twice, 3 times the trunk. Okay, when we put it back, you'll see I'm just going to try, I'm going to bring this together, I'm going to tighten it up. I just want to make it a little pretty when I do it. This is what we're going to hang the tops from. Not bad. Put them together a little bit. So, these are adjustable. Go anywhere I want. I'm going to put my top down there. But the second I put tension on it, it's not going to go. Go. We have a ridge line. We don't know if it's right high or not, but we're going to see. We can adjust this if we want to. My top. There's a reason why I do it this way. I carry it in the dry bag. Reason being is, one time when I was first starting to learn how to do this, had everything nice. I had everything underneath my top, like you see there, putting everything away. But it comes to time point where you got to come out in the rain, and it was downpouring. I'm trying to fold this top nice and neat and put it this way so I can put it on the outside. I'm getting soaked. I looked over at my buddy. A little bit of slop, pieces taken, he's thrown in there. So the nice thing about this is you got a wet top, you can throw it in here, or you go and break down quickly. You shove it in there, throw it in your bag, you go. Later on, you're going to take it out and dry it out. Bolts down pretty nice, right? It's heavy now because I have a heavyweight stakes. If I change the stakes out, it's going to be huge, but it's still somewhat light. What do you think? 4 pounds? 3 pounds? Okay. And I usually strap it.
Whoa. Right down to your right. Yep.
Ah. See what I'm saying? I guess, Dave. So I also keep it with a strap on it. There's a reason for that. We'll find out in a little bit. So this is my nice camouflage top. You see everything's in it. I didn't use this because you guys need to see that. These are the heavy duty stakes. You guys want to see real quick? Should have some lightweight ones in here too somewhere. Some crappy ones. Heavy duty. These are decent lightweight ones. There's different lengths you can use. Let's pass them around. Let's return them up here. See the difference? Super lightweight. They're considered halfway decent, but these will bend too. Some guys are really good at this. They're very professional. They have everything like ready to go. I'm not that professional, but so I'm going to keep my stakes here. This is an Aquaquet 10x10 top. I very rarely use it, but I love the design on it, so that's why I bought it. And it's a good size, 10x10. So,
I got your toggles if you want them.
what's that?
Toggles.
Yeah, come on over.
Quickly,
So let's
Jim.
do, yes,
quickly, on your stake. Purpose of the tie out
thank
here?
you.
Yeah, on the stake.
Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
I'm asking you.
So lots of times you have to pull out a stake. They're easy to pull out and stuff. All right, what else is
Yeah,
there?
I've never used one like this.
Lots of times these things get buried into the ground and stuff, and they're hard to pull out. Take another stake, pull them out real easy. If you're in snow, that's the only thing bad about these. If you're in snow, you can put them sideways, pack them with snow, or freeze over. You know, sometimes you can't get in there. So, let's see, I'm probably gonna have to adjust this. I need some toggles there. Why don't you go down in the middle. Come on, you can do it. It's not hard. Here you go.
You got it, Sam. Sam.
So I'm going to take my loop, pull it through. Hopefully I have the right size here. I'm on the right side. Put my toggle through, and it will make sense in a second. Just want to see where the middle is on this. Yep. So I want you to do the same thing over here. You can adjust that. Just throw it right through. Yeah, it's brand nice, brand new. And I need you to do it. Go ahead.
Very end one?
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
There you go. See, adjustable. And then to pull tight, pull by the this knot. You can pull yours tight. Slide it. Doesn't matter which way.
I was not gonna pull tight because you've got it too long.
Just like that. Okay, so we're going to take, no, not that. Lean-to is what we're doing here, is this. I hate the way this looks, so I'm going to use a ground sheet on this. So the centerpiece right here, we're going to tilt it underneath. We're going to take our stake, put it through, and we're just going to put it where it feels right. I'll let you stake in first. When you stake in, see how you're going straight down? Go on a 45. And you see people do this all the time, including myself. That's how you usually bend them. So, we just want to make this point a little bit in back. We can adjust this to get more This is like my least favorite design. The key to this is you pull it all the way out. Then we go back one. You won't go into that other loop. Then I can put a stake here and here. And I can adjust this, I can bring this back, but now I got a ground sheet and I got a cloth. The key thing to this is, oh, and I forgot to tell you about this. Let me go into that. Bob W's a campsite selection. I know you know it. I've seen actually you did a video on it. Everybody else, any clue? Okay.
Weapons, water.
Campsite selection. Water's part of it. So basically, when you go to a campsite and you're trying to pick a site to go to, most beginners, they set up in the wrong spots. So water, wood, widowmakers, wildlife, and wind. Sometimes I call it weather. Water. You want to be near an area where there's an ample supply of water, hydration, cooking, hygiene, so on and so forth. Also, where you set up. If this is in a low-lying area, you're going to be flooded. So make sure that you're on good, a little bit slightly higher ground, maybe flat, whatever. Stay away from the runoff areas. 2, wood. Bugout situation, I hate making fires because smell, light and stuff. But if I need a survival situation, if I need one, you want to find an area, ample supply of wood. This area would be okay for that. Cooking, cooking, light, warmth, water purification, so on and so forth. Now, my partner, our host, kind of screwed this up to me. Widowmakers. Everybody know what a widowmaker is? Yep. And Trent, you want to point it out?
Right here.
That's why I always try to get everybody to go over there to kind of point it out. And we all set up. Every single one of us here has all done this at one time. You set up, you like the area, you look at it, and then all of a sudden you walk away, you come back, you're like. So the other thing you want to look out for widowmakers, everybody looks up 360 degrees. Trees, if the disease, you just don't like the way they look, make sure that they're steady. If you're not sure, move away, because if this thing falls or that tree falls, is it going to be able to reach us? Is it going to fall in our direction? So that's an important thing. Wildlife. You don't want to sit up close to wildlife. You want to let them be. So before you go out, you want to kind of do a quick search, know what's in the area. Then you want to look for signs while we're out here, droppings, game trails, stuff like that. Wind, that's where this comes in. It doesn't matter if you're a hammock, a tent, or a shelter, but especially with shelters. We got rain, and we got wind coming. If the wind's coming this way, where's all that water going to go? Yeah, so I would want to set it up in the opposite direction. And if it's coming this way, I'm still going to get away. I would have to do some rearranging, use some of my sticks or trekking poles. Maybe I'll go off one tree and then put the other stick that way. Maybe I just take 2 sticks and put them up that way. But I just wanted to go over that when I remembered when I set it up this way. So this is a lean-to. You got a ground sheet. Most of the time, it's a variation. Put them out here. It's okay, like in summer months like this, where it's like really hot, you might want to just keep it. You can adjust the angles. I can lower this line out, give myself more coverage. It depends on what you want to do. Generally speaking, if you have it big, it's usually for the sometimes months. You want more airflow. But if it's winter time, you want to reduce the size of this. Keep it as small as possible. Put a fire in front of it with a firewall behind it. Bounce the heat into this. They also have tarps that have reflective material in here, so that will help with that. There's things called the super shelter, which I did recently. So it was about, I don't know, in the 30s. We went out and all we had was our clothes and whatever we could fit on our belt. This is a poncho. Beautiful thing about a poncho is it's also a tarp. It has grommets. You can use it in one of these configurations. It could be smaller, but you'd be okay. You just have to learn how to adjust it. If you go to Home Depot, pick up something like this, and it works perfectly with the poncho. You throw it over it and you put some Mylar on the back of it, you got your super shelter. That thing will get into, what, 20s? And you'll be warm, as long as you have a long fire and it's warm.
What is that?
It's vapor barrier. You got it at Home Depot. This one's 9x12. I don't know, pound or two maybe.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
Why did you? What's the reasoning bringing this back in like that?
Okay, so if you bring it out here and it starts raining, it's going to come past this.
Okay.
So it drips there and it drips into here. That's why I pulled it back. I can adjust it. Like I said, I can drop this line back, pull it back, and create different angles if I want to. If the winds change, as long as it's this way, from this way, I can pop out super great. Just flip it around. But if it comes this way, now we have to go with something else. Okay, so the A-frame. Pop that out. Hold that for a second. Toggles too. This might hold, it might not. But you want something that you don't want to think about, so maybe a little bit thicker. You know, it's not bad, it held, it probably would hold too. Keep your toggle near you. So if I want to release this, I just loosen up a little bit and I'll pop this out. Come on, a little bit too thick. I should have pulled it out through the thing. Alright, that's horrible. Alright, so you want to pull that out? This is going to be A-frame. I'm not sure if this is going to be the angle I want. Do you get the gist? I can adjust the original if I want to. For this one, I love this top. And if you don't have this, see this little line in the middle of it? That's my middle. So I look for that. Or tie something off to make it if you don't have them. To make it where you know where it is, so you don't have to, oh, where is it? Where is it? So I'm going to flip it over, put that line on top. You got your toggle. So again, I'm going to put my thing through it. Give me 1 second before you tighten it. Like I said, I can even use a stake like this if I have to. So whatever you have, you can use. My toggle through. You ready over there?
Alright.
Way to find out. Hold tight. That's good. Now this thing will move on you a little bit, but you see how that's in the middle? Okay, let's start off with the back end. Now, this probably has to be lowered. We're going to play around with it, and that's part of it. You play around. Eventually, if you use this piece of equipment more, you'll start seeing, you'll know, hey, I got to set it at my belly button. Same thing with this. Higher it is, more airflow, lower it is. I'll let you put the first one in. And you're going to have to adjust it on a 45. There you go. 45. Like I said, if you do this with lightweight stakes, it will bend. Just remember that. You come to the other side. Yeah, right. This is like one of my favorites. I'll let you put it in first. Like I said, if you by yourself, it just takes a little more time. Okay, you're gonna have to adjust this a little bit. Adjust your side, like kind of make it. The reason why I'm letting him do this is he hasn't done this before, and you know, it's always better to do than to watch. Now this could be a little tighter. It's all right. You don't have a lot of wind. If you have a lot of wind, you want to make sure that you have this caught up. How many stakes you need depends on what you're trying to do. I usually carry about 8, but if you go something a little bit different, you might want it. If you have a lot of wind, you start tying all these things out, and you want to make it taut. So let me just put this in real quick, and then you're going to readjust yours. We don't care about the back because people can't see the back. 45. And you see how it's starting to a little ease in it? We'll just play around with it a little bit. And the hardest part is you're gonna put it in the exact spot you want, and you're gonna hit a fucking root, and you're gonna have to move it around. So as you can see in here, you guys take a look. We can adjust this side. Plenty of room. You can put your bag in there. Everything. Let me ask you a question. How many people would sleep in this?
I say at least.
Okay. Anybody worried about bugs? Exactly. Everybody's like that when they first started. Eventually, you'll go away from it. I set up a tarp where there's a bug net underneath this.
No.
It's made for this configuration. So it's a good transitional type of act. You know, if you want to kind of try this, and you can do it. Now the great thing is, you guys brought tents, you brought pop-ups, right? So because why? Because sun, it's raining, right? So by having this AquaQuest 10x10, it's somewhere between a pound or two. I have to look it up. But let's say it's pouring and I don't want to stay in my tent all day long. It's a bad example if I saw it real quick. You get a branch, you want it obviously thicker, but see how there's a Y on it? It makes things nice. So I can put a pole in the middle, but that's way too thin. I want something a little bit of thickness. That optional equipment that I was talking about would be the branches. So you're going to need a saw. Silkies are a really good saw. They come in all different sizes. They have saws that will cut down a tree. I have another one that's a little bit bigger here, but just a nice little size. These are tarp poles. As they can tell you, they come in handy for their tarp designs. But if you have cordage, you want to take that up? What we can do is, most of us that go backpacking, we have little camp chairs, or even a big chair would work. I can either take one stick. Did you guys see the shelter I have in my thing, how I did a V over there? Or you could put two. So the height, it's gonna fall down in a second. I should just get the cordage. But you can put it up like this. Yeah, hold it for a second. It's gonna fall, I don't care. Obviously I just did these the other day. I don't know which one's which, but we'll find out. It's kind of short, but we'll make it work. So you could do something like this. I forget the name of this knot. It's like a self-tensioning. Dan, give me the name. Self-adjusting knot. What is it?
Slip knot.
Slip
No.
knot?
Taut line. There you go. So basically you want to put it down. This one's a little short. I want to make this a little bigger, so I'll lighten it up a little bit. I can tighten this up if I have to. I can make this loose, as you see. But then all I have to do is get 2 more stakes. Now I got an area to go underneath. One top. Get a line, put it out here. I could leave one side down, one side up. Let's say the wind's coming this way, put that side down. Take it down like this. I can bring this up like this. Flexibility. Question? Sorry. So that's why I like to do something like this, because it's not perfect, but if you're bugging out or whatever, or even if you just want to do and have some fun, there's so many different configurations. Everybody, Steve has a tent. He's a jerk for doing this because top class was my class. He took it over. It's over at the end. It's an awesome design. Check it out. At first when you go, it's already in the corner. You think it's a tent. It's not. It's top. Just like this. So,
Actually, you call that the pole, a tent pole.
top pole, tent pole. Honestly, it's like a second time I've using it. I usually use sticks. But let's say you have you can only use one tree. What you can do is you can use one of these. Like, let's say the wind is coming this way, and ideally I want to flip this around. What I can do is Same method. Leave one end in, go opposite the direction I want, put this down, tie it down. I can use 2 strings, I can use 1 string. All of a sudden it will work for me. I like using the 2 trees. I like having that something secure. I don't normally use trekking poles, but if I do, I haven't had an issue. But you know, so the better the stake, the better you're off you are. There's one more design that we're going to do, and then I got something to kind of do with you guys, with my volunteers. Hopefully they've been paying attention. Always keep the toggle nearby, keep the stakes in your pants, or else if people are watching me before putting up my stuff, what is this, what is that? It's all over the place. Try to be organized. You good? Back one's out. Put it in your pocket. This last one is a plow point. That was an A-frame. The one before that was a lean-to. So, once again, you can adjust this to the height you need, and every single one of these things, these top designs, let's say you don't have a top to go on the ground, I can drop this lower, maybe to this one. It'll be tight, go this way, and then the same thing on the other side. Now I have a floor. So you can, it's adjustable, it's flexible, you can make it happen, but the only thing is, it's going to be like, it's going to be in there tight, but it's cold, wet, you're off the ground, and you got protection. Super tight. Your body warmth will hopefully help you a little bit. So in this one, you want to take that top off? Okay. Just leave it on. Go over there. Do the quick release. Go above your head. There you go. You got the bite in there. Look at him. I give it a little pull. You'll see it kind of wanting to tighten. You might have to assist it a little bit. Got it? We'll figure out. Don't worry, we'll hold. We'll get it. Come on over here. Want to put this head height over here? Which way you want to do? You want to use this?
I'd like to check that out, actually.
Okay, all right.
I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, bring it around. Okay, so you're just gonna, you don't have to pull it tight. You want this one, I like it at this height over my head. So you kind of want to, you don't want to put it too tight for now. So basically, do you remember how to do it?
Let's see.
No, leave this alone, I'll hold this and you can do that
this
first.
one. Let's see. How you
Oh, you're doing the other way, forget about this then. Go ahead, go.
like that, and then I don't remember.
Okay, so watch. You ready? So we're gonna go, don't worry, I'll adjust that. You're gonna go this way, put it towards the tree,
Okay.
and then see how I got those pinchy fingers I can pull it to. Okay, and we'll raise it when you're done. There you go, now put it on top of the line. Other way, towards the tree, this tree.
Oh, I see.
Now grab it with your fingers, pull it through, but when you pull this way. There you go.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
trucker's hitch. Do me a favor, take that out. No, wait. Go like this, come on, you got it. Presentation, hard. Good, try it again. Do it 100 times, so I'll come back later.
All right.
There you go, now see how that's a little short? Adjust
Yeah.
it. There you go, good. Okay, now so we take this side. Look at him going the hard way.
I should know this shit.
All right.
But it's been years.
Pull it through, pull it through, pull it through. Make sure that now you want to make sure this is kind of above your head. Wait, a little bit lower. Not much. There you go. And like I said, if you use the same tops, pull it tight. Okay. Pinch, that's going to slip on you. So what you're going to do is just go like this. Now grab under like this. Come through. Just pull it this way. Is that tight enough? I don't know. It seems a little.
I don't know. Seems like it was the way you put it up.
Fuck you. Now you do it again. See, that's why you gotta be a wise ass to the teacher. Okay. Alright, I'm not doing the work, you do it. Come on, presentation, snap. Ah, nice sound. I like that. Hey, you could do it, look, you can do it down here. Do it down here, like where you're comfortable. Yeah. We'll adjust it, we'll put it up. Pull it towards the tree. Okay. Set it above your head. Doing a plot point on this one. There you go. Don't pull it tight yet. When you get all the quarters through, then you pull it tight.
And
Then all the way through. Pull it all the way through.
all the way through.
Yeah, get it all the way through. Well, tight as you want. Tight. Get it tight. There you go. Now the key is pinching it and not losing that. Right. Just put a little over it, and it's the smaller the better. Like I would say, like this, and then come through there, and pull it this way. Tight. Don't let go. There you go. Now pull. Better?
It's a little tighter, yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna leave it like that right now. And remember how to tie this?
No, I've never did it that way.
Okay, so basically think of a figure eight. This way when you're done with the cordage it doesn't tie up. I don't really care about this, but you can pull this tight. Like I said, I don't care. We'll just leave it like that for now. Okay. So in this one, the key is finding one end. So the nice thing about this is a plot point. So like I said, I can pick anywhere I want. I can move this wherever I want. I put this through the hole, like so. And this is the simplest, in my opinion, one of the better ones. One of my favorite. Find the opposite corner of this in the back. Opposite corner. This is the hardest part. Yep. Now I can set this higher if I want to. This will involve 3 stakes. 1, and we'll have to adjust this. I don't know how I like it, if I like this or not. You got the idea. Go ahead. Yeah, no, that should be higher. Yeah, it should be higher. But you get the idea. So basically, you can also take a stick. That should be higher, that's for sure. Take any stick. If you don't have a pole that has a nice soft cushion, you take a stick and put anything you have just to protect the top. It has plenty of room in here, but you have to get something like this. Then you can adjust it, but you get the idea. And the nice thing about this design is, if the wind changes, you can spin it 360. So, any questions on any of these tops? Any? Go ahead.
I like the start. Where can I find the start?
Amazon has AquaQuest.
AquaQuest.
You like it because it's camel, right? That camel?
Well, no, I actually like it because of the anchor points. But yeah, I like
Okay,
the
all right. You like that?
And the good thing about it, it has 19 tie-outs.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, 19
that's
tie-outs.
what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Tile and in the middle.
Ah, and we screwed up. You know why we screwed up?
Inside out.
Yes, sir. It happens. Because I was just about to point out.
Inside out.
Well, it's gonna point out before, and I didn't see them. Like, what the hell are they? It's the tie outs. So you might be thinking, if I put this pole in here like this, it's taking up my room, right? So you could use a trekking pole, you could use something like this. I'm just grabbing stuff here. If you can grab one of the tie outs in the back without tearing down the pole, you might have to take a stake out. Yeah. What you can do is you find with the grommets, I mean on the outside you can't do this. If there's a tree, if there's a branch, if you get that wide branch I was talking about before, obviously I'm just doing this, you can pull it out. You got a branch back here, tie it up to a thing, you know, you have a branch on the ground, go like that, but you see now all of a sudden, it makes a difference. And like I said, this is the easiest one to put up. You can flip it any direction, wind doesn't matter because it changes. How long will it take? Seconds? Okay. Feeling good about this?
No, but let's do it.
Good man, good man. Now this next part has nothing to do with this. It's for my joy to watch him squirm a little bit. Now there is a point to it. It was done to me and I'll explain afterwards. I'm gonna throw a few screwballs at him though. See that? One more, put that. Hold on for that for a second. How do you feel about this? Excellent, good. Excellent. Yes. Okay, 5 minutes. An hour?
Lightweight.
Man. Don't worry. So, this was done to me. The instructor that did this didn't tell me why, didn't tell me how to do this. He gave us a scenario. The scenario is the temperature is what it is, but in 15 minutes from now, the sun will drop and go down to 34 degrees. So it's going to rain, buckets, and you got a certain amount of time to do it. Good luck. And I'm going to add a little flair to it. It's all for fun. Don't worry if you can. I have a feeling you can do it. Maybe not in the time frame, but I think from watching you, I think do a couple more times. I think you can do it. And I'm giving you a crappy top, so it's going to be a real struggle. So everything's against you. All right. You got the ridge line up. Now, like I said, it's 5 by 7, so that's small. We ran out of time, Trent?
Yes.
Okay. What he could have done, because everything says this is why I do this. Good thing I have a long strap. Instead of doing all that, he could just wrap this around like so, obviously I picked a big tree. Or take a string, tie it off real quick. Thank God I got the big straps.
Carabiner.
Out of the way. To the opposite end. Take. Just gonna put this in quick because we're running out of time here. Right here, not this one. And you're up. So flexibility. There's a lot of different ways of doing this. Let's have a good hand for Wolfgang over here. He's a good sport.
Good job.
Thanks guys for.
Thank you.
Excellent. Any questions?
What is your favorite pie?
I don't like pie. I told you that before.
Denied again, Chad.
So
Thank you, Prepared Irishman. Appreciate it.
thing,
Mm-hmm.
if you guys want to do this, as long as it's not going on in somebody else's class, come over. I'll give you some tips. I'll help you with it. You want to learn it? I'm here to help you.
All right.
And I'm going to make a shameless plug. I have 6 videos. They have the knots on them. And actually, putting it up is really slow. I think it was a lot longer than he did, so you did a good job. But it's the knots are really good. You can see them really clear.
Again, y'all, subscribe to the Prepared Irishman if you have not on YouTube. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you guys.